Hey everybody, it is May 22nd. I knew I probably shouldn't have put that right there. Let me move that over. Okay, so yes, it is May 22nd, 2024. And you guys, I was busy doing stuff around the house and this happened. Okay, so since this just had to happen in the afternoon, you guys know the later it is in the day, the more I am pressed for time. I'm going to go ahead and hop right into this video. I'm going to change the view so you guys can see what I'm doing. Hopefully my ring light will hold in its place. I am going to show you guys what I do. Okay, I'm not making a suggestion of this being the way to put back on a nail that you've already pre-designed. You already even have a charm on it, but this is how I do it. Okay, so I call them my little press-ons because I already know within a week or when my nails grow out that it's going to get loose and I'm going to have to put them back on. But the worst thing for me is when I can't get them off. So if something like this happens, I'm kind of okay with this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get you guys set up, and then while I'm curing or something like that, not while I'm drilling, then I will go ahead and tell you guys how that happened. All right, so give me a second and then we'll get started. Okay, so hopefully you guys have a good view of everything. The video is going to get a little loud because I'm going to go ahead and do the drill part on the video as well. I don't have time to pause too many more times after this. Okay, so what I have is my 91% alcohol. You know, you can buy this from anywhere, Walmart, Walgreens. I have my Salon Extend Kiss lamp, and this is supposed to be an LED lamp. And what I have learned so far is LED is supposed to be the best of the three types of lamps. It only has a little bit of UV in it. Okay, so I'm hoping that that is an LED lamp because it has been working pretty good. And if I can, I'm going to show you guys how powerful this thing is. And I'm going to try to leave my not polished video, or I'm sorry, lamp out of the video. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this is the starter kit that it comes out of, this little light here. And it's $19.99 at Walmart. And if you don't see it in your local Walmart, then you can probably just find it online. This is my Cara Sky dampen dish. This is, of course, the bottom part of it. The top is somewhere over there. I'm going to use Makartt solid nail glue. I already have my drill bit with my sanding band on there in my drill. I also use this here. This has a brush on one end and a spatula on the other end. Okay, so this is important. And if you have paper towels, then that would be a good idea to have that out as well. But I ran out of paper towels. Okay, so I'm going to be using these no lint wipes from Young Nails, and I bought it on Young Nails. I believe it's .com, and I showed you guys this. It's really big. It's like a big, huge roll of what looks like toilet paper. Okay, so that should last you for a while, depending on if you do your nails and other people's nails or what you're going to use it for. Okay, so I also have here one last thing I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you all the tools first. The Tropical Shine nail file. It is a 100 coarse, medium 180 coarse. I'm sorry. Let me start over. It's 100 coarse, 180 medium. Okay, and maybe the word coarse does go behind that. Washable, disinfectable, leaves no color residue. I showed you guys this before. This is the 180 side. The solid side is the 100. Okay, so if you don't have a drill, then you could probably use this. And I think I watched other videos and they advise to use the 180 side. Okay, you want to take the shine off your nail. So we're going to start with that. Okay, so you want to have these ready because you're going to need to wipe this off so that you can get rid of any excess on your finger. And I've learned not to wet it with the alcohol if any of it oozes out from underneath. Okay, the only thing you guys are not going to be able to see is what happens because the nail is already with powder on it, or else I would show you guys how I've been trying to keep the bubbles out when I push it down, and I have not been successful yet of that. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do before I even prep my nail, I'm going to take this excess glue, I don't know if you guys can see that, off. You'll probably be able to see it. So what I do is I take the spatula, and I'm sorry you guys, I think my fridge is making ice. So if you guys hear another noise like that, that might be what it is. I was wondering what fell. Be careful when you do this. You want to probably actually get some alcohol on there. And I don't know how to explain what it's doing. I don't know if it's eating away at the solid nail tip glue, or if it is just making it to where you can peel it up. Okay, so I usually just do this, let it sit on there. And from my own experience, if you're wondering, have I tried to drill this stuff off? Yes, it takes forever and the stuff flies everywhere. Okay, so I am attempting to not damage the other side of the nail. And as you can see, the spatula is slipping. The solid nail glue is really on here. So like I said, whether it's loosening it or whether it is actually eating away at it, I couldn't tell you, but 91% alcohol is pretty strong. Okay, so you're probably going to have, as you can see, a bit of a time. You guys know I don't filter my videos too much, and if they're too long, I can't even put words up like if I say something wrong. So I am trying to stay focused here, and I am a beginner. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. Some of you might even suggest acetone, but acetone leaves a residue. Looks like you got into a fight with glazed donuts is usually what I compare it to. And so even if this is more difficult, I find to just have the patience to do this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but see it's coming up. Okay, and if you guys can't see it, eventually you will when I peel it off. But the nail prep goes pretty fast, and that's why I didn't want to do the nail prep first. Because from what I saw, when you get to the base part that you put on your nail, you just put your hand in for 30 seconds into your lamp and see it's coming off there. And in the midst of talking, I was thinking, I know I kind of slowed down on what I was saying, but I did not bring anything in here to prep my nails. I actually was in the process of putting everything in the case that I showed you guys, the Biotique 2-in-1 case that I bought just to roll around the house, because I do have a portable kitchen island. I know it's a bit excessive, but it's to keep my nail supplies in it. I even do my toes, and I don't do the tools. No, those pliers and stuff like that. Nope. It's cut, file, you know, take the polish off. And if I want, put polish back on my toenails. So no, I don't go full-fledged nail shopping here on my toes. I do not want to hurt myself, which I have, trying some of the stuff that they do. Yeah, I tried to cut on the side of the top of my toenails. You know, then they go down the side of the toenail, and no, I am not skilled enough to do that, and I hurt my left big toe. So since then, I have not done that. I also bought a Salon step. They really should have made more of it out of metal than plastic. And you do need a mat to put on the floor to keep the Salon step from sliding. And the mat I got from Walmart stinks. I mean, that's just straight up the honest truth. And so sometimes with my toenails, I get frustrated. I lay down one of these pads you see here, and I think, okay, wherever you can prop your foot up at, just do that instead. And then go from there with the cutting, the filing, and stuff like that. Usually I take the polish off first. And you guys know I don't like to put gel polish on my toes. If gel polish is on my toes, then I went to the shop and I usually let them drill it off. So I would say once every 2 to 3 months. Sometimes once a month I do go to the shop to let them do my toes so I can have it properly taken care of. I know my hands are kind of blocking everything. I'm not used to recording at an angle like this. And so I will show you guys like what's coming off once I get it off. And at this point, when it gets like that, okay, yes, it might be that difficult to pull it off like that. Some of you might even suggest, there we go, a cuticle pusher, or the one that has like the hook on there on one end. And then I just take the alcohol and just kind of clean it. Okay, so whatever else can come off. And if you're wondering, do I usually try to get this stuff off first? Yes, because I want this to dry, because as you saw, that 91% alcohol will make it loose. And of course, this is going to go back onto my nail, and so I don't want it to affect anything. And it might, but it's better when it's dry. Sometimes I even blow on it. So I'm just going to let that sit there. Let that air dry, since alcohol dries pretty fast. Okay, so you're going to have a bit of a time. Your hands might be hurting a little bit after you do that, especially if more than one nail comes off. As you can see, my nails haven't even had enough time to grow out yet. This one came off. This one I thought was coming off and it wasn't. So that hurts. So I put those back on. So yeah, just to show you guys really quick. Okay, so that's why I got into full cover nails. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the stuff I need. I don't think I really need my alcohol anymore. Actually, no, I'm lying. Yes, I do. You'll see what I need that for. But I'm just going to keep rolling. I'm going to get the Bond, which is the dehydrator, all that stuff. So you're going to hear some noise. Got to open my case. So give me just a second. Because like I said, I was not planning on having to do this today. Okay, so was not polished. Oh, that's the XXX bond. Sorry, that's my second step. And then I have two of these. I can't tell. I think they're both new. Oh, here it is. Here's my step one. It's even marked with the one. This is their dehydrator, the Bond. And then I believe, what am I missing? It actually goes like this. Bond, so you dehydrate, then prime, then this. Okay, this is what you let dry for 30 seconds, but you'll see me do that in a second. I'm just checking my case to make sure I'm not forgetting anything else before I sit back down. Okay, so I think we're good because I don't have to top coat or anything since the nail is already pre-designed and everything like that. Okay, so also I have my fingernail clippers here because my nails have grown out and I like to have them cut down. I know some people like to keep their nails, so let's get step one over here by itself. And I'm going to take, I know I'm dropping everything right now, take this and clip this. And if you're wondering how am I liking my nail mat, my silicone nail mat, it's okay, but certain things stick to it and it's hard to wipe off of it. I just use a no-lint wipe or a paper towel and the 91% alcohol. That's what I did before I started recording today to clean it off. But as you can see, I'm extra careful, so I always have one of these, and I got these on Amazon as too. So in the description box, what I'll do is I'll go through everything you guys see here and see what I can find a link for and put it in the description box. I don't know why I picked that up. I have to file first. Okay, so I'm just going to take this side, the 180 side, and just file my nail. And if you're watching this and you are a nail tech and you see me doing anything wrong, if you have any tips, I welcome tips. And if you're going to criticize, please keep it constructive, okay, because I try to stay positive. This is not easy at all. I knew it was going to be difficult, but I had to figure out how to get things easy for me. Okay, so in my first videos, I started telling you guys in my first nail videos, you're probably going to learn everything to not do from me, but hopefully along the way I pick up some skill that I actually can pass along that is good. Okay, so like I said, you could use this, I guess, I think the 180 side, but I'm going to take my drill. This is a touch drill. That's not the name of it. It's a no like brand thing. I'm going to hold this because just in case it's on, you turn it on underneath here. And then you have your window here. This thing is very, very touchy. Okay, so you're going to find yourself, if you like this one and you get it, then let's see, I go reverse on my left hand, and I know you're probably going to tell me I'm supposed to go forward on my left hand, but I actually go reverse, and it's pause. There's different ways to pause it. You can pause it like this. You can set it down. Seeing it stop spinning. It's very quiet. I'm just going to do it on 1. And from what I saw, I think this is called feather. So I'm going to feather over, or feathering over my nail. And in the other videos I saw, they said you just want to do this enough to take the shine off your nail. And you can probably see why you might decide to just use your hand file. And I'm trying to be pretty light-handed with it. Okay, so that should be good. So you turn it down and then push and hold the power button. Now remember, the switch is still on. So I'm going to turn that off, and I will do all my cleanup after. I'm going to set that out of the way. Hopefully it's out of the way with you guys being angled down. Don't quote me on that. It might not be. And then I'm going to actually watch me spill this. Take some alcohol there. I'm going to screw this back on because I did knock this over when it was more in it. And then I believe I'm supposed to take the alcohol and wipe off my nail and let that dry. This is where I would have used Swipe from Not Polish. I'm sorry, Young Nails. But it's a cleanser. And they also said it's their dehydrator, but they advised me not to mix products. Okay, so some of you might be thinking, oh, I use Swipe all the time and I use Not Polish and other products, but going off, I just wanted to show you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not because I have a lot of lights on in here, how now my nail is not shiny anymore. And I think the alcohol is dry. But yeah, I decided to take their advice from Young Nails and to actually go with the dehydrator from, they said, whatever company I'm using for my polish and my powders. Okay, so this is the Bond, if you didn't see the bottle. And as you guys know, I am a huge fan of Not Polish products. They're very user-friendly, so this is their #1. I know I showed this to you guys earlier, but I'm going to show it to you separately. And then if I learned correctly from the other videos, you're supposed to kind of let that dry. And I don't think it takes long. If you can see it in person, you'll see that it kind of does the same thing as the alcohol. And you can kind of see where it is dehydrating the nail. And I think I've told you guys, this is the only nail that is not messed up underneath. So I have no clue what happened. Okay, so by now, this should be dry. This is the XXXL Bond. This is their primer. And it's supposed to be acid-free primer. Okay, and I think I was telling you guys in another nail video, I learned not to shake these. And if you shake any of your polishes or gel polishes, to wait, I think they said 30 to 45 minutes before you use it, because by shaking it, you might have created air bubbles in there. And to be quite honest with you, I have no clue how long this is supposed to sit on my nails and dry. So this might be part of my problem. But I mean, out of all fairness, I did hit my nail when I was putting things in the bottom of the 2-in-1 case, so the bottom case, and it popped right off. It popped off so fast, it didn't even have time to hurt. I noticed for me, it does burn some. Okay, so I don't know if that is supposed to happen or not. I thought with it saying that it was acid free that it wouldn't, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is burning a little bit right now. So some of you might say, no, like don't use it, that means you're having a reaction to it or something. I don't know. I'm looking at it and we'll give it a couple more seconds just in case I'm not letting some of this stuff dry fast enough. And then I do want to tell you guys, let me get this, because I know since I set that close, that might be like right in your face. You have to plug this up. This is not something that you charge up. And the light gradually gets hotter. And if you keep your finger on the sensor, then it stays on for a minute. Okay, but this thing packs a powerful punch. I'm going to tell you guys, if I did not have a nail lamp, if I came across this thing, I would be happy. Okay, so the third thing that I do is I take their Dip It Base Step 2 from Not Polish, and I put this on, and I believe this is supposed to be dried under a light for 30 seconds. Now, some people might say, well, you should probably use a regular base. This is only for the dip method with their dip powder. And you guys are probably wondering, I don't know why that stuck like that, but I don't think I'm supposed to put that much, only a little bit. But this air dries. A light doesn't actually cure it. So the reason why I started putting it under any type of light before I got this, I got my Not Polished lamp first, is because I heard and I saw some videos where a person said that this helps it dry faster. So I don't know if curing and drying are the same thing or one and the same. Maybe curing also means that gel polish, or that, you know, your base or anything that needs a lamp hardens on top of that. Maybe it's not just the fact that it dries. But I still haven't really learned if curing is just another word for drying, basically. So what I'm doing is possibly is letting it dry some, not cure. So maybe there is a difference between the two. Okay, so it went off pretty fast. I don't think that was 30 seconds. I thought I timed it one time and it was a minute. So that was a quick minute. I wasn't expecting that. All right, now the fun part. This stuff is sticky. It smells. I do not like getting it on my fingers. I've seen that some people take this and they roll it up in a ball. I'm trying to pull this off, and it is as sticky as it looks. Okay, so I know I'm extra careful with everything, but I did have to pull a little bit on that. Okay, so I'm gonna have a no lint wipe ready, because if I do have to take any off of my finger around the pieces where I'm lining here with the spatula, then the last thing I want to have happen is still have this nail glue on there. Because how are you going to get it off if it's already some on there? Look, that came off of underneath the foil, and see how easy it got onto the spatula? So that's why I wipe it off. But what I do is I look at my nail, I turn it to where I can see it, and I try to decide how much I want to put on there, because I think if you put too little, you're going to have the same problem. Like the nail might just pop off. You won't even have to hit it on something. And this stuff is gooey. It's sticky. You're going to fight with it. However you can get creative to get the excess off of the spatula, then try that. So I'm going to try this amount here. That may not be enough This is the part where I wish you guys could see it on a clear nail. So I know I'm going to have to do another video when I do my full set from scratch. And I only do one hand on camera. So I'm adding a little bit more because I'm looking at that nail and I'm thinking, I don't think that's enough. Okay, so I got this ready. Usually it's when I already got wet. This one's wet on standby just in case. I'm going to take it. And I'm going to start here from the middle. And you know what? I see a piece that I need to file. Let me see how much of it's stuck on there. Uh-oh. Okay. Normally I check the nail before. So this usually would not happen like this. Let's see if I can get it to peel off. It did. Okay, good. Let me tilt that for a second. And if you're wondering, would I have cleaned this part with alcohol after I did this? Yes. So I'm going to try to file as little as I can to create the least amount of dust. And I think this is from the excess I didn't get off the first time. Okay, so normally I would have done this first just to look at it and see. And then on the other side, I'm not quite sure why that's white right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I'm so sorry, you guys. This is a lot more difficult to do once all your nails are on. But and I see I can't use the spatula. I was going to use it to try and wipe it. I'm not quite sure. I probably shouldn't do that with that nail. I just prepped it. I'm not quite sure what that is. So we'll take care of that in a second. I have a couple of ideas. I might just need to put more of a top coat on there. Okay, so normally I would have done that first. And this is the part where I've seen people put this stuff in here. Like I said, sometimes they roll it up in a ball. They try and like push it down. I try and spread it on like butter. And I try to keep it away from going on the other side of the nail. So I do put it on the edges. And I just scoop it off like that. And if I think there needs to be more over here, then I try and put the excess there. But then while that's sitting for just a quick second, I am going to actually, this is still wet. Let's see, I'm going to take this and wipe this off. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit. There's a little bit of alcohol still left in here. I know it's not super, super clean, but I'm more so concerned with the tip of the spatula. Okay, so we should be good if I have any excess. And this is a really important key factor to have this thing. I know the not polished lamp has a flash cure of the 10-second button. It has a 30-second button. It even has a 60 and a 90-second button. So flash cure is usually, what, 10 seconds or 30? But I'm going to tell you guys, if I did not have this once I discovered it, I would hop right over to Walmart. Now, your nail's going to look shiny like this. And this is going to be difficult for me because my charm is on there and I was not about to pop that off and try and put that back on. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it here. Oh, okay. So I started telling you guys about the base. Whatever base someone ends up telling you to use for this Makartt solid nail tip glue, you need to have a sticky surface to work with the sticky solid nail glue. Okay, so that's what I heard. If that's not true, don't quote me on that because that's what I heard in another video. And the reason why I like doing this way is because with full cover nails, they're already prepped to where you've already shaped them to the shape of like the area here. Okay, because you're going to find that not all of it is rounded like the bottom of the nail. So when you put these back on, it should already be to the shape of your finger. And that's why I thought this might be a good idea. And then also when you put this underneath the light, however you do this part, okay, you're going to look at this. You're going to check it. And if there's any excess here, you're supposed to wipe that off. But that's not a lot. I'm thinking about leaving that on there. Because what's happening is when you let go, this part here is lifting back up off your nail because it has not been flash cured. So I don't think that's enough for me to wipe off, and I know you guys can't see that, which is actually a good thing because sometimes it'll squish all the way down like to the middle of the fake nail. So that's actually a good thing. I'm gonna hold it, put my finger on the middle. I do see some excess. I want to make sure it's straight. It's not straight, it's a little bit crooked. Right now I have a little bit of play with it because I haven't flash cured it yet. So I'm going to take my spatula, and I don't know if you guys can see that. I would put my finger here so the light would turn on, but if I do that, it's going to start curing it. And I'm just going to go around. This is the part where I would have dipped this in the alcohol. And what I learned was, I'm just wipe this off on here. Or actually this is, since I'm not going underneath the nail, that little one that I had with the alcohol on it, I went ahead and wiped it off over there. Now I got little pieces of that lint, no lint wipe on there. But yeah, I learned I'm just gonna wipe this off without using alcohol because as we saw, the alcohol makes it gooey again and you really wanna just get it off. The next time I go around to kind of do the cleanup really quick, and I know I'm supposed to have cured this already, but I'm gonna get all this off. You saw the second time I dipped it in alcohol to go ahead. But that first time, Okay, so spatula is still fairly clean. I'm gonna hold it in the middle here, and I'm gonna try and get my, let me see if I can do this around. Now, I'm gonna warn you guys, once you put your finger on this sensor, even 5 to 10 seconds underneath this light, and you most likely would not be able to get this off just doing this. So normally you would do it like that, and it's going to get hot. I don't know if I finished showing you guys that, but it is going to get hot underneath there. And somebody on a video said that that's normal, that it's actually heating up and curing the glue. Okay, so I guess like turning it into a solid. Okay, so normally you would take your other lamp and you would put it now under there for a full cure of 60 seconds. But I'm not gonna do that because I want you guys to see what happens. I'm just doing a little cleanup here. If you only have this little light to work with to start off with. The not polished lamp is expensive, and if you can't find it on sale anywhere, oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, they have red, and I think the other color is ivory. There's a store, I always talk about it, EP as in Paul Beauty Supply in El Paso, Texas, has a website. I think it's epbeauty.com. And these lights are $159, which is almost $100 off. It's like, but somewhere between $80 and $100 off of the price. Because I think on the Not Polished website, they're $239, and in stores they might have to do a markup, so it might be like $249. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you the power of this one. I don't feel like getting my Not Polished lamp, and I'm gonna put this back on here because now I'm gonna look and make sure that I'm positive that I don't want to wipe any off in here. And by now, just from that flash cure, I might not even be able to. No. We're both in a committed relationship now. Yeah, not gonna work. So let me go ahead and just put that back down there. And that's pretty much it. Along the way, I found that things happen. Some stuff you expect and some stuff you don't. Like sometimes there's a lot of that squishes from underneath, but with a clear nail, it's a lot easier to see in your finger and stuff like that. And you're not trying to work around a charm and stuff like that. So it will go a little faster, at least from what I found from my own personal experience, if you're just putting your full cover nails on. Your other option, which is what I've done, you guys have seen me do it, is I used a nail stand, and specifically in the Aqua Nails video that I made, I only made one, and I had a stand and I had these little things I call chest pieces. They have magnets on the bottom of them, and then you stick them to the little magnetic surface, and then you literally, the stuff is heating up. I'm losing my train of thought because it got a little hot. I really want to make sure that this is on here because I have laundry and everything else to do. I'm going to do this one more time. This is not necessary to do this many times, but I'm going to be taking clothes in and out of the washer, the dryer, so I'm going to go ahead and just a couple seconds on here. But yeah, so I was just telling you guys about something. Okay, so yeah, starting from scratch from a full cover set of nails, then you probably would have put maybe 2 nails on or 3 by now. And we have to address this, right? We might as well. I don't even know. I've never seen this happen. I'm not quite sure what that is. So some of you might be screaming at the screen right now like, no, Lorraine, don't. Let's see what happens if I wet this. What is that? If it's sealed correctly, the fact that I put alcohol on here shouldn't matter so far as the solid nail glue is concerned, and the fact that, as you saw, 91% alcohol actually will make that loosen. But yeah, that's what I was telling you guys about the stand. So I actually made the aqua nails on the little stands. I made the whole thing using those, and then I put them on like press-ons. I'm gonna take this dry one here. That's actually good that I didn't wet this. And it's so cool because if you have a gloss top coat on, at least the not polished gloss top coat, 91% alcohol doesn't seem to affect it at all. See that? And that's powder, like I said, underneath. Okay, so when I do that video, you'll see me go through the whole thing. But I was thinking that maybe something just got on there, and I like that because you can use that, like if you use nail art pens before the ink dries, 91% alcohol, or even probably the 71%, and just wipe the writing off if you don't like the way you wrote or drew a design with the nail art pens. So if you're wondering, have I learned how to use those liners, the polish that has the thin brushes in there? No. And now I'm doing a little bit of cleanup. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but just while we're talking so I can finish telling you guys about that. But yeah, so that's just a little side tip, you know, because nail art is difficult, and I can draw, just not small, and I can't draw people. I usually do stick figures, and I can't draw cars. They're squares with circles for tires and the little stick figures driving the car. So yeah, one of the things I can't draw, but to draw teeny on top of that, yeah, it's a whole nother story. I am actually going to, you know what, might as well. I think the alcohol looks clean enough, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I don't want to waste any more. I'm just going to rub around here. So yeah, I am finding that 91% alcohol is being more useful than acetone, honestly. And even if you get some type of white residue on your fingers from wiping it off like that, just trying to get the excess what the little spatula could not get off. If you use regular tweezers, I don't have them over here, be careful. I've tried to, because it has more of a sharper edge, to use that, and it works, but be careful because you don't want to scrape too hard. And you would be amazed at the little amount of pressure that you can end up putting down and end up hurting your finger from using the tweezer to get that excess glue off. And you see how these tear. Okay, so let me close that up and do a quick little cleanup while we're talking here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I do it. As you saw, I didn't have to worry about this coming off. I use Makartt rhinestone glue. I have the one that's like this, and I have the tube as well. And this, the one that comes like this, actually has like a little tool, a little brush or whatever it's called. I can't remember when you take the lid off what's underneath there to put that rhinestone glue on. And then the tube, obviously you just squeeze it. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Like I said, there might be some things that you would put a big red X and like, no, I would not have done that. Like I said, here's the glue that came off. Ill, gross. Let me put that back over the side. That's gross. I gross out easy. But yeah, and that's what I do. And then, honestly, I'm usually good to go for another week. Okay, so I'm finding that on a weekly basis, not an every 2-week basis, which is how often I was doing my nails before when I was doing half cover tips, but on a weekly basis, I've been wondering what this is, and I think that's nothing. I think it's just I didn't put enough powder over here, and that's why it looks, I don't know if you guys can see that, it looks kind of see-through. That's not like white residue or anything like that, or any type of residue from anything. That's just what happens if you do the dip method on full cover nails and you don't put a lot of layers of powder on top. Okay, so that's why that looks like that. You can kind of see it. I don't know. It looks see-through. And when you look at that way, if you hold up coarse light, it's going to hit, it's going to look like that. But yeah, that's what that is. But that's where I'm at right now. No half cover tips, too hard, kept popping off. Didn't matter what I did, didn't matter what I used. I was using this as a glue to put the half cover tip nails on. And nail glue, I decided to stop using that. And it just wasn't working, you guys. Honestly, it so was not working. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is my go-to. This last thing I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to go. I won't keep you guys too long. But rhinestone pops off. Charm pops off. If I don't have this with me, let me show you guys this again. The Makartt solid nail tip glue. Because you see, then you would have to have something with a spatula. But if I don't have this with me, this is my go-to, even though, okay, so I'm learning that the arch, kind of like right here on your nail, it's called the apex, and a fake cover or full cover nail will have that apex, and this is thicker, so it kind of fills that in, whether you have a high apex or not, whether your nails are almost flat. But if you don't have that on you, this right here, especially since it air dries, how convenient is that, right? This is my go-to, even to attach one of these back on if push comes to shove and if I don't have a choice. Okay, so if I'm somewhere and I can't re-prep my nails and do all the stuff you guys saw me do in this video, let me tell y'all, yes. And I like this more to carry this with me. I usually keep it in the bubble wrap that they have it in. If you order it from the website, these come bubble wrapped, because this has yet to dry out on me like nail glue. You know, nail glue dries out on you at the worst time, right? And you're looking at the nail glue like, really? And then you have to stop by a store to, clean this off while we're talking, but yeah, to get nail glue. And sometimes if it's one of those days or one of those couple of days, especially like if you're out of time, sometimes that nail glue dries out too, right? So you're right back at the store, and depending on what you have to do, whether you're in town or not, you know, where you live, you don't have time to have to worry about that. So that is my go-to. I'm gonna tell you guys, it's a lifesaver. And make sure, because after a couple seconds, it's already starting to dry. Make sure that whatever you put on with this, it's where you wanted it to go, especially the nail, or it will be crooked. Okay, and if you try and take it off, try that at your own risk, because it is going to hurt, because this stuff is very sticky. And I'm telling y'all, like, honestly, within a minute, it's a wrap. Whatever's on there is on there. Whatever you, like this, if you put this back on there, let's say you didn't want it tilted like that. No, it's going to be tilted if you let it dry. If you didn't move it while it was still sliding, because once you hold it down, and you could probably count to like 5, and that's it. It's already stuck on there. So that's my go-to. My hat goes off to Not Polish. I always talk about them, and I love their products. This replaced nail glue. I don't even use nail glue anymore. So yeah, if it wasn't for that apex with the full cover nails, I would still be using this with half cover tips, trying to figure out where I'm going wrong. Okay, so within 2 weeks, it would just pop, and then the powder would just still be on my finger, and I was like, I can't. So I went to this. And Gel X, no, I haven't tried Gel X yet. I have not tried if the nails are made out of gel. I think there are some. I have not tried it. And I think even these in this kit that this light comes in says that these are flexible soft gel. for a comfortable fit. And so it's saying that the nails in here are gel, if I'm understanding that correctly, and it does come with glue and everything like that. So yeah, there's all these different things that you guys can do. Just kind of, you know, play around with everything. Let me know, how are you doing? Okay, just in general, just on a regular basis, how are you doing today? And also, how are you doing with your nail journey? Are things getting easier for you? Have you given up? Have you went back to the shop? Did you stop altogether? And I know it's kind of awkward. I just realized I'm talking to you guys and all you can see is my hands. But yes, let me know, especially if you're a beginner, how are you doing? Okay. A cross between the Wendy Williams voice and was that Joey from Friends? Yeah, I know when he says it, it means something different, but yes, just the question itself and his voice he uses, yes, the seriousness that comes into that. I'm doing okay. I'll have to say, if you're wondering how am I doing with this, this has been the easiest thing for me so far. So I'm going to get out of here. I got to get out of airplane mode, and I have to attack my house. Before we left, I only did some cleaning. Usually you guys know I clean it very thoroughly before we go anywhere, especially like out of town, but some stuff has crept up on me and I need to get on that, and I need to wash some clothes that came out of the bag and the clothes in my laundry basket. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. But if you have to, if you want to try what I just did, what you just saw, just rewind the video. And I try to go slower because one, it does take some precision. By the time you want to put this on here, you do have to be careful how it's sitting when you flash cure. If you do bring your full size lamp over and then put your hand in, because you might be doing your whole hand, and you just need it to stay in place while you're doing your other hand. So you might flash cure each of your nails, and by the time you're to the pinky, then after the flash cure, you probably end up putting your whole hand in to do a full cure of 60 seconds. It all depends on your technique and how you like to do it. But I just try to make sure they're on pretty straight. So yes, you guys have a great day. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope this helps, especially if you're a beginner or if you just started back doing your nails and you're like, girl, I lost half my skill. You're right. This is difficult. You might even be asking yourself, why did I start back? Right. But I like to do something for myself, and my hair, I don't get it done too often. So this is what I did. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's dried up glue or something. It'll come off. That's okay. Maybe alcohol and that dried up on there. I'll get it. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can get that off after I stop the camera. You guys stay safe. Bye for now. All right, you guys, so just really quick. So as you can see, I was cleaning up my area. It did not come off, but to be quite honest with you, I kind of feel like if I hit this, that it's probably going to pop off again. And I wouldn't have to, well, no, I take that back. I would probably have to hit it harder than what I did when I did it the first time, trying to put stuff in the bottom of my bottom case for a 2-in-1 case. But what I'm going to do, as you can see, I have my nail polish lamp here. It always starts off with 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and fully cure this for 60 seconds. Okay, so I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know on the video that I went ahead and decided to give it a full cure of 60 seconds in this lamp. One of the things I'm thinking is that this lamp is stronger than obviously the little lamp that you saw on the video. And so I thought, no, you know what, you need to go ahead and fully cure it, because it does feel like possibly if you do this too much that you can make it start to lift, not completely come off. Like I do feel like I would have to hit this on something in order, like I said, for it to come off. But just the fact that it felt like it had a little bit of wiggle to it, I didn't like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fully cure this in the lamp for 60 seconds. And this is what would have been next after the flash cure with the small lamp. So I always try to keep my nail polish lamp somewhere close to me because it's portable and because I have so many curing options on the lamp. Okay, so yeah, that should be good. And like I said, just don't forget, you're going to feel it heating up. And then also, I forgot to mention, okay, so what I learned is, let's say it gets hot. Doesn't matter if you're carrying your gel polish, if you're carrying the solid nail glue that's under here and you've done your full cover nails, or you're carrying the fact that you put a charm on there. From what I saw, you take your hand out of the lamp, turn it upside down for a couple of seconds. I don't remember why this works. And then turn it back over and put it back inside of your lamp. And obviously, if it gets really hot, again, I mean fast, it'll happen fast. Then I saw where you just take it out, do the same thing, turn your hand upside down, and then turn it right back up, and then, or right side up, and then put it back into your lamp. Okay, so I can't tell you why that works, but just so you know, you do have that option. Okay, and hopefully that will work for you, because you're going to need to cure it. If it says UV LED on anything, it has to go into a lamp or underneath that little lamp that you saw. Okay, so yeah, that's just a little tip that I learned, so I thought I would pass that along to you guys. Now I'm going to go ahead and go finish cleaning up my counter area here. Like I said, attack this house, and I will see you guys later. Bye.